day. This is Dr. Bob Flower, and this is your Master Pattern Report for August 2nd, Wednesday, brought to you through the Gilchrist International TV station, broadcasting all over the world. Okay, so our mortgage banker guest is stuck in traffic on the West Side Highway and will not be here today. Shame on him. Happens to be my son. But we're going to have him hopefully next week. Okay, so let's talk about some finance. And I want to introduce a plan that we're sending out to, I've already contacted a few Congress people to see if what the feasibility and viability is of this concept. I call it the convertible health insurance plan, and it's directed towards the portion of the health care that deals with the young people. This is the component that's giving the authorities, I hate to use that word, in any event, yes, the authorities the most trouble, because the young people are not signing up, and that's where the initial Obamacare miscalculated, because they need the revenue, the premium revenues from those people to carry the plan. So because of that, more subsidies from the government are needed, and it's creating 1/6 of the U.S. economy is now feeding into the system. So that's one of the key reasons why the whole program is falling apart. So let me propose this and see how any of the listeners or even leadership, political leadership, might take this. I call this the convertible health insurance policy. And here's the way it works, very simple. Young people would take out a health insurance policy, and what they would do is this policy, which would be issued by any insurance agency, as well as a group, it's a chamber of commerce or something like that. So they would pay an ordinary premium, whatever it is, but within that premium, there would be a portion that would be funding a term insurance policy, term life insurance policy. Now, term life insurance is very, very cheap. Like somebody at 30 years old for like a $10,000 policy, I think they pay like $150, $200 a year. I mean, it's really, really cheap. So here's the idea. The young people under 44 would take out this policy, and they would be put into a group. And this group would have these term life policies, so that what happens is there's a definite portion of the American population under 44 that unfortunately demises each year. The number without babies is about 100,000 a year. So that let me read you some numbers. So that at 100,000, paying 200, taking out a policy that would pay for your premiums, that would generate like $4 billion a year in revenue, right? This is just at $200 a year. The payout out of the demise of the 100,000 would be $2 billion a year. Right? Now, of course, these are approximate numbers, and they need to be massaged, but they're functional. Okay, so that what would happen is the young people as a group would have coverage They would have disaster coverage and even a little better coverage, depending. And then they would have the life coverage, and the life coverage would be entrusted into a group so that, I hate to put it this way, but what would happen within the group, there's an attrition, a definite percentage of that group that passes each year, which is roughly about 100,000. So that's going to generate revenue, which is not going to break the bank of the insurance companies, but it's going to generate enough revenue to ease the premiums. It's not going to pay for the premiums entirely, but it is going to generate enough revenue to make life easier for the younger people, but at the same time, it's going to give them coverage. Okay, so I throw that out there to see what everybody thinks about it, and see if there's something that could be that could be inaugurated by this concept. All right, now special announcement. Today's August 2nd. August 7th through the 12th is a lookout period. I expect that we're going to see chaos, a good deal of chaos during that period of time. Don't ask me what type. It could be Korea, it could be Venezuela, and it could be some sort of Trumpism, but I don't think so. But there is going to be some chaos in the markets, so be very careful from the 7th through the 12th. And this may, while the market is exploding to the upside, this may be the thing that turns us towards the commodities, the metals, the beginning. And I think we're already starting to see it. And talking about that, last week we did some predicting to our special followers who are on our email list. We played the S&P and we lost $234 on the S&P, but we made over $300 on the stock, which we had recommended. So we ended up ahead, and I have to tell you that this is really frustrating as all hell. 3 times within the past 7 trading days, we have accurately predicted the direction of the market and lost money. Those of you who play the market know what I'm talking about. For instance, today we were short the market, and the market opened up, so our safes kicked in, and we lost about almost $400, $398, and the market is down now. We're talking about the S&P. Right? So instead of making 400, we lost 400. Right? So knowing what's going to happen, as I often say, is not what it's made out to be. But our percentage is creeping up where we keep track. We deal with Charles Schwab, and they have a mechanism now that will automatically determine your accuracy in trading. And we're at 58, a little over 58%. But we're moving up because we're trying different modalities, and we're getting there. So those of you who are on our email advisory, stick with it. It's going to work. It is working. It all depends on how you play the game. You could be much better at it than I am. Unfortunately, I don't have the time. to treat it the way it should be treated. And we can afford to lose whatever we lose, so I don't want anybody to lose what they can't afford to lose. Okay, and we're looking for a knockdown in the market this week, and it could only be in the S&P because of this chaos that's coming up. Again, we're looking for silver and gold to make a move here within the next 30 to 40 days. We like that play. We don't like what's going on in the economy. We think that there's too much uncertainty, even though the spirit of the economy is very high, and that's important. That's a critical factor. But watch out, because there are forces at work here which are willing to negatively impact the marketplace. What you're seeing that's going on with the administration is an example. Yes, I agree. Trump is not helping himself. He thinks he is. He's not. This new fella Kelly, I think, will be, if he lets him rule the roost, he'll set the ship straight. But Democrats and Republicans are out to get this guy. Even if they go along with him on certain things such as the wall and health care reform, the taxes, they're not going to let this guy succeed. They're going to go after him big time because they realize that he's not only draining the swamp, he's changing the sewer. So a lot of what's going on has that motive behind it. But again, the spirit of the economy is strong. We have said from the beginning of the year that we believe we're going to see a 24,000 Dow within the next 4 years, now 3.5 years, and we're practically at 22,000. So we think we're going to see an incremental rise in the Dow over the year. So you want to play that, it's going straight up, baby. But there are other parts of the economy that are that could be hurting. You're going to see price increases because as you buy America, you're going to be paying higher prices. That's a fact. So you have to be prepared for that. But it does help. The economy gives better employment, more profits, more money to spend, more people having more money to spend, and that will definitely encourage a greater move. But we have to be careful because there are things at play here that will affect different parts of the market. And if you get caught in any one of these parts of the market, whole industries can be wiped out over the next couple of years, as they have been going. Just a quick example. I can remember when we used to order business cards, and you went to a special printer that printed business cards, okay? And they sat there and they made up a business card for you, and you wanted 500 and they would charge you like $200. Today, you get online and in 10 minutes, you got yourself an even superior business card, and you're paying, what, $20 for 500? Something like that? There is a business that's gone. Bye-bye. No more. And there's other avenues like that that are at risk and disappearing. So we have to be prepared for change. And change has its benefits, plus and minus. Now, I also want to announce that while I told you I'm working with this young golf professional, I've devised a tape which is actually two tapes. One is a sleep tape. If you have problems sleeping, give us a call, and we'll send you a tape. I don't know what the cost is, but it's a couple of dollars. It's cheap as hell. And this, as one of the participants, applicants had said, I get halfway through the tape and I'm gone. He says, I've never heard the end of the tape, so I've got it for like 2 weeks or so. It works. Also, the second tape is a performance tape, especially if you're a tennis player, if you're athletically inclined, or a runner, or competitor, golf, whatever. This will definitely enhance your skills. So drop us an email and let us know what your interests are, and we'll get this thing to you. And like I said, it's very, very reasonable. Just enough to cover our costs. Okay. So that's another thing. We are working on. I'm finishing 3 books. I have one that's getting ready for the agent. I have a second and a third that are 90% finished, and we're just going to be finishing that up. Very, very interesting. We'll post that for you soon, and we're going to put that up so for your review. And I know there's one of these books is going to be a big hit with a lot of you, because it's going to deal with my 55 years in the real estate business, and some interesting and very humorous stories during my career, and I think you're going to find that most interesting. Okay, so I think that's going to be it for today. We have a lot of interesting stuff coming up, a lot of good calls. We're really picking up things here with our economic package, our advisory package. So if you want to be on the advisory list, again, send us your email, put you on the list, and we'll provide you with insights as often as we can, specific insights, what we are doing, how we're handling the move for the day or for the week, okay? All right, I think that's it. Unfortunately, our guest again couldn't make it, stuck in the heavy rain traffic, and we would like to have him next week if we can, and several others that have a lot to offer us, okay? So, that's it, except for, remember, reality is not what it seems. Thanks, have a good week.